All right, now we're doing this the right way, guys. If you guys are here and you guys want to learn how to get clients without spending any money on social media, what I want you to do is hit the like button. And if you want our brand new PDF that we're going to be putting out on how to get clients without spending any money on ads, what I want you to do is actually drop an emoji and I'll make sure that I get that to you. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about that, and let's see if we can get that up there on the screen. So check that out. What do you think about that, guys? That's pretty sweet and snazzy, isn't it? So I'm going to check and make sure that we're here and that this is working. So I'm going to update the description here. And if you guys can hear me, let me know. Otherwise, I'm wondering, I think everybody's here. So if you guys are hopping on now, let me know who's here. And we're going to get into this because you guys can see that this is actually a it's actually a pretty cool way to be able to learn and engage right here on Facebook. So, John, this is actually the Facebook Spaces app. And what's cool is it makes it a really engaging learning experience. So today we're going to talk about, how to create content that gets people to subscribe so you can sell to them that turns them into clients, right? So we're actually going to talk about all of that stuff today as well. And so you can see it makes it really easy and really cool to be able to create engaging environments here as well. So let's see. I'm going to clear. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I want to come back. I want to grab this. I want to put this, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to clear that. So guys, let me know if you guys are here, and then let me know what you guys' questions are. Specifically, we're going to get into some real, we're going to do some real training today, guys. So we're going to go over, we're going to go over how to create content, right? You guys can see that we're going to talk about how to create content that's going to actually get people to subscribe. We're going to talk about how you can create conversations, whether you're selling products or whether you are selling actually services. And then we're actually going to talk about how to pitch stuff, right? And then we're going to finish up with turning people into clients and customers as well, okay? So let me know if you guys are here. And we're going to talk about all that. So hopefully you guys can read. Sorry, close your eyes when I move it. I know it's kind of hard. Can you guys see that? Does that work right there? This is it's creepy as hell for sure. My cartoon avatar is probably pretty creepy, but I think it'll just create an awesome, it'll just open your eyes. Close your eyes, guys, a little bit. I'm going to move the camera. It'll open your eyes a little bit as to what's possible with these kind of tools. And you guys can see here, I can draw and all that stuff, and then I can get that stuff out of here too. So let's get right into it, guys. And once again, if you guys think that this stuff is valuable, I'm just going to ask that you pay with your thumbs, and you pay with your your likes and your loves. That would help me a ton in the algorithm, letting people know that this stuff is worth tuning into as well. So let's get right into it, right? Because there's two things that you can really sell as a business, right? You can either sell, the first thing that you can sell is you can sell a product. And the second thing that you can sell is you can sell a service, right? So on the top, you'll notice it says content, right? Oh, look, let me kind of move over here, right? I think you guys can see. So you'll notice that over there, it says content, right? So the thing is, I can't move over there. It won't let me get over there in virtual reality, but you'll deal with it. So content, okay, maybe I can come right here. So content is really about getting people's attention. And that's if you're selling a product or a service, right? And what you got to do is if you're selling a service, you got to really focus on your outreach, right? So products can do a lot with content because they can bring people in. A lot of times they're able to create communities, or you can run ads, it's just a different kind of game. Whereas if you're selling a service, a lot of times that requires individual outreach, a lot of times cold outreach, or running ads to a cold audience so that you are constantly building in new conversations, right? So, Ben, hopefully you guys can see a little bit. I apologize if it's a little bit weird. Let me know if you guys can see. So, John says that he appreciates me trying new things. We're going to see if this sticks. Who knows, right? The point is that these things are happening, and for you to be able to create webinars, or you able to create selling experiences, it's just a new kind of thing. So when people talk about content, right? Let's talk about content. Let me move over here, right? When people talk about content, people just think that you just got to create content just to create content. And although content is important, content should actually act as a bridge that moves people from simply becoming aware. And what we want to do is we want to try and bridge them, right, to this subscription part. So the point of content is to be able to get them to that next step, right? So when you're thinking about, okay, what should I create content about? Well, don't just think about that. Think about what's that farthest step, right? Or when I'm thinking about if I'm selling services and I'm just doing cold outreach, what I've got to think about is not the service that I provide, the product that I provide. What I actually have to think about is I have to think about what is it that they are getting? What is their result, right? That's really what I got to think about, because that's going to be the thing that's going to take us to the next part, which is this conversation. So realize if you're selling a product, you've got to get them from here, finding out about you with content, into this subscription part. But if you are selling a service, what you've got to do is look to open up conversations and create conversations with people as well. So all of this, by the way, I've talked about this on other videos. This is all done with the virtual reality headset. So I'm standing in the middle of my room, and there's this. I'm now transported to a wonderful park and stuff like that, and I can put up pictures, basically, or I can grab anything from Facebook and throw it up here on the wall and then draw all over it as well. So it's pretty cool. So does that make sense? Or does that, like, are you guys understanding that as like in terms of content, right? I'm curious if you guys are okay sharing. I got to face this way, right? I'm curious if you guys are okay sharing what it is that you guys sell, because that way I might make it easier for us to talk about what kind of content you should be producing and then how you're going to get people subscribed. So for example, if you guys want to learn how to do this, right? Actually, I'm sorry that I haven't put it out yet, but I really want it to be good. If you guys are interested in getting the PDF on how to get clients with cold email and digital door knocking, if you want that, just drop an emoji. Just drop an emoji and I will get that to you as soon as it's finished. So that is, for me, that's like my subscription, right? I know that there's a lot of you guys who want to get clients and you want to get them without necessarily having to pay for ads. And so if you want that, drop an emoji, and I have you guys, if I take off my goggles, you guys will see all of this crazy nonsense written on the whiteboard that is going into this PDF. So it's going to be good. So drop an emoji if you guys want that. But the point is that you guys know, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. When you guys comment, I can actually play with the heart. Look at that. That's so cool. So guys, once again, if you guys want emoji, if you guys want the PDF when it's ready, drop an emoji, drop a smiley face, and it might pop into VR here, which is just kind of cool. So anyways, that's what we're talking about when we go into the next part, which is subscription. Now, a lot of you guys are selling services, right? A lot of you guys are pitching chatbot services. A lot of you guys are pitching marketing services, Facebook services, whatever it is. Realize that what you guys are trying to do is you're trying to kill you're trying to go for the kill too quickly, right? You're trying to get married too quickly. What you want to do is you want to treat B2B sales like a relationship. It's something that happens slowly. And the slower that those things happen, usually the stronger that they actually are. And what I mean by that is that, there are the typical typical examples of the things that, blow up really quickly and they have a grand old time and then they end in a flurry, right? Well, similarly, those kinds of things can happen in a business setting, but usually what happens if you want someone to stick around long term, if you want someone to be an ideal client, is that those relationships are built, and that sales conversation is not done or completed in one single sales conversation, right? That thing is done over a period of time. There are 2, 3, 4 conversations that happen so that this person is willing to actually so that they're actually willing to do business with you, right? They've got to learn to like you, and then they've got to be able to figure out whether or not you're actually legitimate or not, right? So, Ron says this is crazy. So guys, this is the Facebook Spaces app. So if you guys are digging this and you guys think that just learning in a new setting, right? I can pick up here and I can draw a bunch of stuff. I can come up here and draw by you guys, right? So if you guys enjoy this stuff, and want me to keep doing it, I ask that you pay with your thumb and you just, likes and loves and stuff like that, or share it out so that other people can see that this stuff is possible too. But what we're talking about is conversation. And before we start pitching people or before we start selling to somebody, we've got to give them value, right? That's really what we've got to do. So our goal here is we get them to subscribe to something that then allows us to start actually pitching, okay? So I'm going to move the camera a little bit, guys. So close your eyes if you guys get motion sickness. I'm going to move the camera just a little bit, okay? So now what we're talking about here is we're actually talking about value selling, right? And what I mean by that is think about a webinar, okay? Some of you guys who have been on my webinars, you guys know that I give a ton, I give a ton of value, right? I give a ton of value on my webinars because I know that by giving value and by helping people, that's actually going to make people want to buy more, right? That's actually going to help me. So my goal here is for them to allow me to give them value so that I could sell to them right here, okay? That's really what I'm trying to do right here is when I get them to subscribe, I'm trying to say, how can I get them into a place where I can start selling to them, right? This is if we're talking about a product. On the top is product, on the bottom is services, okay? On the top is product, on the bottom is services. So thank you, Ron. I appreciate it. Anais, I appreciate your love as well, guys. If you guys have been on one of my trainings, let me know what you guys think about those because I hate the webinars or I hate the trainings where there's no value and it's just it's a big pitch fest, right? I hate that stuff because nobody likes that. At least I don't, so I don't want to ever do that to you guys. So my point is how can you get them in a place that allows you to sell to them, but they come away thinking, oh my goodness, I got so much value. And if you guys have been on my trainings, you guys know that you guys come away and you're able to learn. I think about Jocelyn Sanchez. I got to give a shout out to you, Jocelyn, because she's someone who without joining my program, right, has listened to my live trainings and has gone out and generated over 7 clients just from the free trainings. That's the type of value that I try and provide when it comes to my value selling. Now, on those same webinars that Jocelyn was listening to, I was also able to generate over $30,000 worth of program sales as well. So how can you create an environment if you're selling a product where people are getting value, but then you're also able actually to sell to them? That's a huge, that's a big challenge. But if you can do that, now people love you, right? Now people will be able to, flock and follow you wherever you go. So value selling and value is really huge. In terms of the services side, okay? Let's say we have this conversation and we figure out that people are actually into what it is that we want, right? Or what it is that we have. They want what we have, yeah? Let's say that they want what we have. So now we have this conversation. Well, people naturally, if you do it the right way, are going to go, okay, well, what's the next step? How do I get to the next step, right? So how can we get people here from this conversation, right, to actually the pitch? And the way that you do that is by structuring it the right way. I know a lot of people, they really enjoy having these one-on-one conversations. And if you can do it the right way where you are someone who is great at connecting with people, great at articulating things, and if you in a really, really good way can make someone feel dumb, right? I know that sounds interesting, but when you're pitching services, you've got to show them how dumb they are without making them feel like you're trying to make them feel dumb, right? It's a very interesting kind of thing. And what I mean by that is if you can explain things in such a simplified way that they go, whoa, okay, I get that, but I have no idea how you do that, right? If they go, I get that, that is an awesome concept. That's I love, man, think about people who build a house. This is the thing that came to my mind right now, right? Think about people who build a house. If you are a contractor, right, you can put together this great picture of what, this amazing house is going to look like. But for me, I don't know how to do that. I don't know if I want to be able to do that, right? And so the point is that by showing it to them the right way and by highlighting not how you do things, they don't care about how you do it. That's what they pay you to do. But if you can highlight what it is that you do and why it is that they need it, well, all of a sudden they're going to flock to you, right? So remember, your goal here. Whoops, let me try and pick up this, let me pick up, So my goal, I'm left-handed though. Here we go. My goal here, right, is to show them that I know, and I've talked about, how to sell specifically, but my goal here is to show them that I can provide what they need so that they'll allow me to actually pitch them, right? That's what I'm talking. Oops. That's what I'm talking about right here, right? If I can show them that they actually know, like if I know what they need, then they'll allow me to actually have that conversation. And that's really, really an important part to demonstrate in this first conversation aspect before you ever start pitching, right? Like that's really, really important before you get here. So let's see. Bob, I appreciate that, guys. I'm curious, what are you guys' thoughts on this stuff? Is it helpful to learn in kind of this? I mean, here's the cool thing. If you guys have a set, if you guys have a VR set, you guys can actually come and hang out in the room. You guys can actually come and hang out at the park with me, come draw on stuff, come, be in the classroom. And so that's kind of a cool thing. So if you guys are digging that, obviously likes and loves. Okay. Second thing is if you guys want to get what we're talking, like the reason that all of this, that we're talking about this is because I'm actually been working on a PDF that, I've been promising since Friday, and I'm sorry it's not out. So if you guys, have been waiting for this, I apologize. It has been weighing on my chest heavily, but I want to make sure that it is valuable for you because it is so, or I want to make sure that it has everything that you need because it can be so valuable for those people who are looking to get started right away without having to pay for ads. So if you want that PDF, okay, as soon as it's finished, drop an emoji and I'll make sure that I follow up with you guys and send that off to you as well as soon as it's finished. So let's talk about these pitches, right? And then we're going to get out of here. Unless if we can get up to over 30 people, okay, I'll keep talking. All right, I'll keep talking. But if we get under 30, that means we don't have enough engagement. So I gotta go work on client stuff, because that's what actually makes me money, right? So after the pitches though, right? After we get to, I'm going to put this away. Oh, maybe it just stays there. So after the pitches, we've got to have enough, right? So that they can become clients and customers. I think that that's so important for people to understand is that you really need to have enough pitches to get you to clients, right? You really need to have enough pitches. Like this is a numbers game, right? And I'll share with you that the better that you can have these conversations and the more clear that you can be on what it is that they want, what it is that you provide, right? And what it is that they're getting out of it, right? I think that like every business owner has these series of questions in their head that you have to be able to answer. And what I mean by that is they're thinking about what's in it for them. How much is it going to cost? What are they going to get out of it? What are they going to have to put into it? What's the amount of time or what's the amount of commitment that they're going to have to put into it, right? Like these are all the questions that are going to have to go into that are being had in this conversation that eventually need to be finalized in this pitch. Yeah. So that's kind of what we're talking about, as well. So, man, I guess just kind of wrap up because if you guys, it's really, really, really interesting. If one of you guys or two of you are really, really enjoying this and just lays on the loves and the wow button, I guarantee you we can get it up to 30 people and I'll stick around as long as we have 30 people on. But under 30 people, it means that we don't have as many likes and loves. So let's talk about, I mean, that's the truth, right? Because it's funny when you do this long enough, you'll notice that when one person lays on the just goes all in and just helps out with engagement, like boom, it'll spike up, right? It's funny what happens. And so let's talk about and review what we went over today, right? Which is we talked about creating content, right? We talked about really, really creating content that not only just gets awareness, because anybody can create content, but your goal of the content is to now get people to subscribe. The goal of the content is to now start the conversations, right, with potential prospects, right? Whether that's through LinkedIn, whether that's through cold email, whether that's through, messaging, digital door knocking. There's lots of different things that you can do in order to be able to, to do that. So, that was huge, right? And then the second part is if we're pitching, right, we need to have these conversations and we need to, before we even get into pitches, right? If we're selling services, before we even get into the pitches, what we need to do is we need to make sure that we are having the right conversations with these business owners, and we are having the right conversations with the decision maker, more importantly, right? And we're answering the questions of, first off, do they even advertise? Do they think that spending money on advertising is important, right? Do they advertise on social media? Are they okay doing something maybe different, right? And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to call it a chatbot, but the point is that you're explaining whatever it is and making sure that they want it. Then you're getting on, and then you get on the pitch. Then you get to the pitch, and here is where you actually solidify all these things, right? Make sure that you walk through everything, like you rehash everything that they can't do, right? I think it's really, really important to highlight why they can't do whatever it is that you're providing, right? Highlight the pain in a really, really nice way. The second thing to do is to walk them through what it is that and how, not how you do it, but really what it is that you're doing to actually generate and provide this business, right? That's another thing that you have to do. You have to lay out their expectations and the commitments that they're coming along with it, oftentimes in terms of time and money, and then present them with a no-brainer, present them with a no-brainer deal that just makes sense to be able to pull the trigger today. So in a nutshell, that's what we're talking about. Those are the things that are going to be in the PDF that's coming out. So I'm sorry it's not out to you. I've been working on it. There's so much content to put in it, but I want to make sure that it's really, really, you can take this PDF and it'll allow you to be able to go out and generate clients from scratch without using any ads at all. So if you guys want that, drop an emoji. And if you guys like this virtual reality thing, it's new. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing it. Here's the thing. I just know that I'm going to keep bringing training to you, value every single day through these lives. So if it's in virtual reality, amazing. If it's through, I don't know, if we're going into the Matrix, amazing. If we're doing it on Facebook Live, it's a screen share, I don't care. My point is, I want to know what works for you guys, because this stuff is about you, right? This is here for you. This content stuff, right, over here, which is obviously should be free for most people, right? If you're creating content, and that's why this is here. This here is for you to, if you guys dig it and you guys like this stuff, well, get the PDF, right? And that'll take you to the next step, and we'll go from there. So hopefully you guys can not only just listen to what I'm doing, but also you're seeing and you're watching me do this as well. I love you guys. Donna says this is new. Go for it. So Nathaniel says, do you meet these businesses in person or what? Skype or phone? Great question. All of the above, right? Whatever you want, right? Whatever you want. That's a great question. So you can actually do it in person. You can stop by their office. You can do it on a call and then send them over some slides through your email. You can hop on a Zoom call and walk through the slides together. Man, there's lots of variables. I would just make sure that you do one of them. Yeah, whatever's. Don't make an excuse of what you can't do, right? Just pick one that you can, for sure. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I love you guys. You guys are